The history of deleted Fortnite updates. Let's start with the deleted Travis Scott skin. If you didn't know, it wasn't always supposed to look like it does now. The original concept was designed in a more realistic style, with Travis wearing a bulletproof vest and different clothes. To be honest, it kind of looked like something out of GTA, so I'm actually glad that version got scrapped. But one thing I'm mad that got scrapped was the basketball game mode that was supposed to launch alongside LeBron James and other NBA skins. It was mentioned in the documents that we'd be getting basketball minigames where you could dunk, shoot, and steal, kind of like the game NBA 2K. It looked so fun, just imagine dunking with LeBron in Fortnite, or even The Rock. Speaking of The Rock, we were supposed to get The Rock as an Icon Series skin, but I'm not sure what happened with that. He was even mentioned in the court documents just like the Galactus skin. Before the Galactus live event in Chapter 2 Season 4, leakers had posted images of an upcoming Galactus skin, and everyone thought we'd get it after the event. But if Galactus ever gets released, I'm sure it'll cost around 2,000 V-Bucks, which is why the reloadable V-Bucks feature would be perfect. It would let players get him without having to spend $25 just to buy more V-Bucks. However, it seems like Epic completely forgot about this feature back in Chapter 2 Season 3, likely because of all the legal issues at the time. This feature would have allowed players to reload the exact amount of V-Bucks they wanted instead of having to buy extra. But if you need V-Bucks, I'm giving one lucky subscriber 5,000 V-Bucks in the next 6 days, so subscribe. Another feature Fortnite left behind was the golden ticket item. Today, we have the reboot van, where you take their card to the van and reboot them, but Epic had a different plan back in Chapter 1. This ticket would have been an item that you could hold in your inventory and carry it around for the whole game, but once you used it, you and your entire team would respawn in your own battle bus in the sky, and then you'd have another go. To be honest, this is probably way cooler than the reboot vans. Maybe it should be its own LTM. When Fortnite first started working on the Slurp Juice, they originally just named it Purple Stuff. It took you 5 seconds to consume and only gave you 26 HP. Thank goodness they changed it later. Also, thank goodness they didn't release the slow motion grenade. This was a grenade in development that, when used, would slow down everyone in it for a few seconds. Its design was somewhat similar to the shield bubble grenade, in my opinion. Just imagine getting spammed with these. That would be so incredibly annoying. Probably not as annoying as the Moab gun, though. This explosive gun never made it into the game. It was basically just a gun that shot grenades. I'm pretty sure you can actually find this in Save the World right now, but can you imagine this in Battle Royale? Would be pretty overpowered, right? But this wasn't the only explosive that never made it into the game. We all remember when the airstrike grenades got added, but it turns out Epic decided they were going to go a different route with a weapon called the airstrike laser. Basically, all you had to do was aim down the sites where you wanted it to blow up, and it would rain down airstrikes over there. Sounds like something straight out of Call of Duty. War never changes, though every year it seems like Fortnite may change the Battle Bus theme to something different, whether it's for a collaboration or a holiday. But Fortnite actually thought about a feature that would let you customize your own Battle Bus. But this was back in 2020, and I don't think Fortnite's ever going to actually add this. Something that Epic hasn't added in way too long are new traps. It seems like the only thing we use nowadays are launch pads, and those come and go often, but Epic actually created a cage trap. It would have pretty much prevented players from moving. Actually, I think I'm glad Epic never added this one. Fortnite celebrates its birthday every year, but in 2018, they made the Birthday Ramirez into a Battle Royale skin. But they just never released it for some reason, and to this day, it's actually still in the files. Maybe one day they'll release her. To forget to release a skin is one thing, but to forget about the It collab is another thing. This was supposed to come out during Season X when Fortnite started spawning red floating balloons from the sewer drains, just like in the movie. And according to leakers, we were also supposed to get a Pennywise skin, but I doubt they'll add him now, just like the Prickly Pear consumable. This was originally planned to be added to the game during Chapter 1, Season 5, around the time Paradise Palms was introduced. Consuming it would have given you a 50% chance of healing and a 50% chance of taking damage. It would have been perfect for an April Fool's event, but it's likely never making it into the game now since it doesn't fit the current theme. A scrapped weapon I would have loved to use is the dual SMGs. They felt like the perfect fit for Fortnite. They were supposed to be released during Chapter 2 Season 4 since they were named Mystique's dual auto pistols. Unfortunately, it's unlikely we'll see them in the game anytime soon because we now have the dual micro SMGs. But these aren't as cool. One thing that Fortnite did add that was cool were balloons. Even though we haven't seen these in a long time, Epic had plans for something even before the balloons we know today. This was called the Big Poppy, but instead of it flying you into the air like regular balloons, it stayed on the ground and caused chaos. This is basically the more OP version of the boomboxes that we all hated. But if you hated the primal shotgun or the drum shotgun, you would have really hated the auto shotty. This was just a more broken version of any other shotgun Fortnite's ever released. For something much less lethal, we have essential oils. This was supposed to be the earliest prototype version of what we have now, the Chug Jug. It basically looked like a regular big pot, but gold. But Epic actually started working on this in Season 1, which means it honestly may be the first ever scrapped update item. We all have used impulse grenades before, and you know that when you use it, it pulses you to the enemy, hence the name Impulse. But around that exact same time when Fortnite was working on the Impulse, they also tested out a grenade that did the exact opposite of the Impulse, called the Vacuum Grenade. This would suck in your enemy pretty much, but Fortnite decided it was pretty much useless and threw this idea away. And now if you thought that was useless, check out the Energy Crystal item. This item really had no point in being added. When you used it, it would slow down your character speed, but you had increased firing speed. Would be interesting how this item would turn out in today's Fortnite world. But something that definitely would have lit things up, like on fire, would have been the flamethrower gun. Back in Chapter 1, Fortnite was actually planning on releasing a flamethrower that would have lit things up when you shot it. Though they didn't get very far with its design, only the effects were made, but maybe one day they'll go back to finishing it. For another unfinished offensive item, the Beehive Grenade is yet another item Fortnite seems to have scrapped for good reasons. Because could you imagine getting swarmed by bees while trying to build battle someone, or just even fight someone in general? It would be total chaos, but this would be cool for a limited time mode or even in creative. But one thing you probably know is that Epic redesigned the Battle Bus in Season 2 for Christmas, but there was actually an early version of the Battle Bus with just a Santa hat on top of it. Honestly, if Epic added the Santa hat with the light, that would have been fire. Speaking of straight fire, in 2019 when Fortnite released the Infinity Blade, it was a total hit. Everyone loved using it. But when the community came to terms with the fact that it was too overpowered, Epic vaulted it, leading to people questioning if it would ever return. Later that season, leakers found another sword in the files that was going to be a medieval sword. Unfortunately, that never came to the game. But it's probably for the best that Epic scrapped the gnome gun, because I have no idea what purpose this would have served. It wasn't even designed to shoot at gnomes, just to launch gnomes. Meanwhile, the minigun grenade launcher would have likely been completely overpowered, so yeah, let's not bring that into the game. Thanks, Epic. Items like the bush will protect you from getting sniped, but Epic had another feature in the works called the Der Burger helmet. This was being worked on in Chapter 1 of Fortnite, and it would have acted basically as a regular helmet protecting you from headshots. This would have been cool, since the only real protection we have now is just shields. An item you would have needed headshot protection from would have been the Super Shredder. Now, if you've played Save the World, you've probably heard this before, but if you haven't, Epic was planning on adding a 3-round burst sniper rifle, if you can call it that. It acts as a shotgun, but has the range of a sniper. Pretty crazy, right? Now, Fortnite has had plenty of scrapped grenades, but my favorite has to be the Telenade. This was an item that you would throw, and when it landed on the ground, it would teleport you to wherever it landed. This would have been so useful. Another useful item called the Tesla Totem would have changed the game forever. It acted as a throwable trap, and whenever a player would get near it, it would zap them. Kind of like the Zapper Trap, except you could throw it. It only did 15 damage, but it definitely would make you double check where you were going before stepping into a building. But for something more useful, the Medic Pack could have been one of the most overpowered items in Fortnite if Epic had actually added it. This backpack style item was designed to stay equipped until you got knocked, at which point it would automatically revive you and restore you to full health. Basically, it was a built-in self-revive, which would have been insanely strong and probably would have sparked a huge debate in the community. The radioactive smoke grenade was an item discovered in the game files back in Season 8. Data miners found evidence of its existence, but all we really knew was its name. There was no information on how it worked or what it looked like. Many assumed it was just a variation of the stink bomb, which might explain why it was never released. Something that was actually released, back in Season 4, a mysterious item called the Eye of the Storm Tracker was unexpectedly added to the game with no explanation. It wasn't just leaked or teased, it actually did appear in matches out of nowhere. This item functioned like a back bling, but had a unique ability. It let players see the next 2 storm circles instead of just 1. They also made it clear that there was no guarantee it would ever be officially released.